Netflix anymore. Cool thing about Netflix, you can go on there and find just about anything, at least in pieces. And in the movie, since I'm not going to play the clip, I'm going to bring up one of the aspects in there that are really important. Is he's trying to go back and change things for other people, of course for himself, but for other people. And when we try to change reality based on other people, for one thing, we're taking away their free will. So just like I don't want anybody controlling my consciousness, I don't want to control anybody else's. And sometimes when we're trying to use like The Secret or the law of attraction, and we're trying to incorporate other people into what we want to create, sometimes that actually prevents it from happening. So ideally, you focus solely on what you want with the highest good, love, your actions related to love, your thoughts related to love, your voice. And then by doing that, you will get what you want and desire. But don't try to make it so specific with certain people. Certain people may not be into that particular thing with you, and you got to let it be. So if you're trying to create it for other people, that's going to freeze you up. You got to create it for yourself. Tune into what you want and start creating for yourself, because you're meant to be a master creator and go on from here further and further and get stronger and stronger. That's what I believe. So ideally, you create for yourself. Think, when you create, it's not that you create in a negative way. You're being conscious of other people, so you're not enslaving or harming other people, but you're still creating for yourself. And think about it. Would you like somebody else creating for you? I personally wouldn't. So get in tune with what you want and focus on that. That means getting in tune with you means disconnecting from all the other distractions. There are so many distractions in the world. The world is about 99.9% distraction. You could be getting in touch with something deep, and all you got to do is turn on the TV, eat a Snickers bar, anything. Instantly you're distracted from who and what you are. You got to start getting in touch with that, going inward, whether that's through meditation, whatever practice you use. You've got to start getting in touch with yourself, and also taking the consciousness, the perception of being able to dial in what you want purposely. Here's an interesting thing where I'm bringing in about the owl. This little page here is called the Bohemian Grove, and Bohemian Grove is where very wealthy elite people go in California. But look here, there's this 30 to 50 foot stone horned owl. Again, there's no accident that this stone horned owl is here, where all these people that with a lot of money, here we have Reagan here and Nixon at a meeting in the Bohemian Grove. Most of our presidents, President Bush, are a part of this Bohemian Grove. And basically it's about, here they're doing this ritual around this large owl. And it goes back to them knowing that they're controlling us through our third eye and our consciousness. Here is the Bohemian Club, logo. And you can see that it's a horned owl again. Bohemian Club. Actually, it should be Bohemian Coven. Here is a design for the Capitol. Look, it's a total owl. And here is a real-life picture, probably done in the 60s or 70s. It's an owl. So basically what they're using is cult and magic to go about and cast a spell over us and keep us controlled. And it's time to wake up to that. And you start taking control of your own consciousness. Now, if you start putting a bunch of negativity towards them, you're buying into it. You're buying into their fear and everything else. Simply focus on what you want to create and start focusing solely there, and take your consciousness off of what they're wanting you to experience. Start creating the world you want to experience, as individually and in groups collectively, focusing on higher principles where we're no longer shackled and chained. Now, I'm cool. I'm cool with doing ritualistic practices together as long as I'm involved in what's going on. But if there's a group of elite people out there that have their own agenda and doing their own magical cast upon the masses of the globe without our consent, I'm not cool with that. That takes away my free will, and we are on purpose born with free will. To me, it's idiotic for God to give us free will to have to give it away in the end. It just doesn't make sense. There's a lot more I could go on here, but I believe I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop at this point and leave it here. That I want you to. This is what I want you to know: is that all the religious text, all the religious icons are within you, from the burning bush to the tree of life. It's all within you. Mostly those landmarks are inside your brain. And the awesome thing about that is it's telling you that you have infinite power within yourself. As long as you unshackle yourself from others, take off the blinders, wake up to what's going on, and start getting together with groups or individually focusing on creating the world we want. We can't fight them. If you get fearful and you start pushing against them, all you do is you fight their system. Simply take your focus off of where our focus is being put on. Like say, oh, this is going to be the worst flu season ever. Well, you can change that consciousness just by simply focusing another direction. So individually and in groups, start focusing on the world you want to experience, where we are free, we are respectable of each other's ability to create and be free. And that's the world I'm focusing on creating. And the more we do that, the more we will begin to experience that in this realm. Until then, there's always going to be a sense of control. We are like I said, we are at the point of evolving past the devil reptilian brain. That's all the devil is the reptilian brain within inside us. And whenever we see these people in the governments and control situations, it just shows that's where they are. They're working in that reptilian brain. And it's just time to move beyond that. And the age that we're moving into, this Aquarian age, it's supposed to be happening around 2012, is where we're moving into a point where not one individual had knowledge or power, like Jesus or Buddha, but all people have equal power and knowledge. That's what we're moving into. And of course, the people that have power right now would like to keep it, because when everybody has power, everybody's equal. And the reptilian brain, it has to do with survival, and it tells us that if we're not better, hence the whole concept of, trying to please our way back into heaven by being good people, which is a silly concept anyway. If God created us, the love is already there. So these people are just stuck in the reptilian brain. You can't fight them at that level. You raise above, and the higher consciousness you get into, it totally obliterates the lower consciousness. So don't fight against it. Tune into what you want and keep tuning into it, keep tuning into it, keep tuning into it. No matter what you see, hear in the world, do it inside. And I tell you, I believe 100% that you will create what you want when you start doing this. Anytime one of the key things Buddha gave us was the idea of being conscious and aware in each moment. The more conscious you are, you can catch yourself when you start to have fear or doubt. You've got to change that station and dial it back into what you want. Because if you let your fear or doubt go for days or weeks, you're tuning in to what you don't want to tune into. It's time to take control, not just let everything default like the little scan button on your radio in your car. You hit that button and this goes through all the stations. No, it's time to take control and pick what you want to create and do it. That's self-mastery, and it's time for us to start doing it. Okay, hope I didn't sound too much on a preacher box, but I'm just trying to get some strong points across here. And why I do all that I do is I want people to be free, expressive, loving, empowered beings, the exact same thing that I want to be. So God bless y'all, namaste, and good luck.